Hey guys, how we doing tonight? My name's Brian Balough. I'm the cellarman for Wiseacre Brewing Company here in Memphis. It's a pleasure to be out with you here tonight, and I'm here to talk to you about one of my most very favorite things in the world, something that's very, very important to me. Beer. Teacher, mother, secret lover, brings people together. It's held together civilizations. It's an amazing, amazing thing. But I don't want to just talk about beer. I want to talk about the people that make beer. And not just myself, not just the wonderful people that I work with, but the people in this industry and what they do. And it takes a rare breed to do what we do, and hopefully I can enlighten you guys a little bit more as to what we actually do with all this stuff. First thing, if you guys are not familiar with the brewing process, I'm going to do this real quick. Mix barley in hot water to make syrup. Step 2, season syrup with dead flowers. Step 3, feed seasoned syrup to yeast. 4, yeast poops alcohol. Poof. You got beer. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it's a bit more detailed, but that'll get you through the night. But a lot of people come up to me and say, like, you've got the greatest job ever. You know, you get to hang out with your friends and drink all day. It's a half-truth. I mean, we have a lot of fun, and I'm not going to deny that. I mean, there's a lot of time at the brewery that we spend, putzing around. Also, a lot of times hanging out with models. We solve a lot of our disputes with the ladder matches. Things like this happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but it gets a bit more deeper than that. But the problem that I have with that statement is the term drinking, because this is drinking. Woo! What we do, that's analysis. That's looking at minute, fine details. The turbidity of the beer, the color, the amount of carbonation, the lacing on the glass. It's all these fine details coming together to make one whole element. And that's the process that we go through. And it's the closest thing I know to anything like remotely close to parenthood. It's each batch is my baby, and they all operate differently, and they're all temperamental, and they all try to cause problems. You can start up 2 batches of the same thing at the same time. They'll ferment differently, they'll have different problems, and it all has to be taken care of in a certain time frame. There's things that just have to be done that way, where if something has to be done at 3 in the morning, you go in at 3 in the morning because it's better at 3 in the morning than at 7 a.m. It's going to be better off in the long run. So it's a labor of love. It's a meticulous process, and it's something to be credited to what people do with stuff like this. You grow a bond. You get really connected to it, and when it comes out and people get to enjoy it, you love it. Speaking of babies, here's a bunch of science that I don't have time to explain, but I wanted to look smart in front of everybody. When yeast anaerobically respirate and form a colony to consume sugars that convert into alcohol, they butt off each other and make blebs. That's a diagram of a bleb. Yeast jerks. They're temperamental, and they're under pressure, and they like to get goo all over you, and that'll happen. And that's just part of the things we deal with. But that's part of our day-to-day. That's what I'm here to talk about. But that plays into everything that we do. We're hands-on with everything that we do. We care about our ingredients. We try to locally source things that we can. Our hops get sent in. We go through numerous piles of it just to work it all out. And all this stuff leads to creating a great product. And this isn't just talking about us. This is brewing in general that everybody puts this effort in, and lots of work puts in lots of analysis. Whole lot of analysis. But with analysis comes growth. And as you've seen around Memphis over the past couple of years, beer has really started to become more of a thing and started to grow nationally. You can see exponential growth within people having more focus on American craft beer and really become front runners in the beer world from what we're doing here, because we're not limited to local styles. We have the ability and the science to adapt to what we're doing and grow off of it. What we're doing with the Tennessee Craft Brewers Guild is trying to break the beer cap a little bit, make beer more accessible for everybody, get rid of a lot of the dumb alcohol laws that we have going on, and get you guys some stronger stuff, because we're all adults so we can handle stuff like that. Thank you. But for myself, 1 West Grand Avenue, Chicago, that's where I fell in love with beer. That's the first beer job I ever had. And I got there in a really dark place, and I had a really bad drinking problem at the time. And I love my job for what I do, because I was in a position in life where beer and alcohol had a control over me. And now I'm in a position that both literally and figuratively I have control over it. So I've got the upper hand on that. And that's why I hate the statement that I just hang around and drink beer all day, because I do a lot more while I do that, and I used to just hang around and drink beer all day, and that's when I had a problem, and now we're far beyond that. And we have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of good people, and I wish I had time to say all their names, but I'm down to my last slide after this one, and this 5 minutes flies by really fast. But I wanted to thank you guys very much for coming out tonight. I hope you guys enjoy all the presenters. There's a lovely lady out there at a little kiosk named Miss Peggy, And she's got a keg of Tiny Bomb. You should go buy one from her, 'cause she's a real sweet lady, and she'll give you a little wink while she does it. But thank you guys. Enjoy your evening.